We've grown 1,800% in 4 years. 4 years ago, there were 5 people in the company. Today, there are 95 people in the company. So 1,800% growth in 4 years. And so the next phase of growth for us, the next 95 jobs that we'll create, depend on finding the right people, depend on the right people being here in our market to come join. With 20% of e-commerce in the holiday period last year influenced by Monetate, we've got a big footprint, and we're actually making a lot of businesses a lot bigger.
You know, over the last 5-10 years, Philadelphia, we've seen it really change. It's been transformed, and you see a vibrant startup community. I think that your two founders here, David and David, are a good example of how, or good leaders within that community. You know, I read 1,000+ business plans a year at Dream Adventures, and I can tell you there's no shortage of innovation. We are the most innovative society the world has ever seen. In fact, there's nowhere else on earth that's even close. I've been in manufacturing plants on almost every continent, and I can tell you we're the most productive society the world has ever seen. So if you believe that, as I do, you do have to ask yourself, what's happened in the economy? What's gone wrong? Because in a lot of ways, I think we all would agree the economy is still struggling today. I think the problem is we have Washington, or we have too few people in Washington that have ever done anything. They've never done anything other than run for office. Not to make fun of lawyers, but they're all lawyers. I think it's time we start sending people that have different backgrounds, doctors, engineers, people from the military. But that diversity is really what's needed to get this country back on track. Every net new job in this country since 1980 came from a business 5 years old or less. Okay? Small business, we are the lifeblood of this economy. Almost every innovation or seismic shift in the economy over the last several decades has come from small, innovative businesses. And by sending people to Washington that don't understand that, we pass a bill that just drives the capital away from businesses like Monetate that are really needed. We can do things in Washington that do a lot of damage, but we also are seeing things in Washington that are doing a lot of good. But the way we're going to do that is we're going to send people to Washington that understand this economy from the ground up. People that believe in the idea of small business. People believe in the idea of empowering the American entrepreneurial spirit. Empowering people to use their God-given talents and creativity to create products and services that people need. And that really is what raises the standard of all Americans. I will tell you what doesn't raise the standard, what is proven doesn't work, is a top-down approach to our economy. A one-size-fits-all in everything from healthcare, education, economic policy. Over the last decade, as we've seen Washington grow more powerful, we've seen more and more influence from Washington, we've seen a declining standard of living in this country. And I think those two things are 100% correlated. So why I'm running for office is to go down to Washington and return the decision-making to the states and to our communities and our small businesses and empower our small businesses, not our multinationals, which is what's really happened. We really right now have a society in which big business is in bed with big government, and we have to break that cycle. But as you travel across the state, it's clear there's a skills gap. In the center part of the state, they need people with hard skills. They need pipe fitters, they need welders, and we're graduating kids from high school that don't have any of those skills. We're sending kids to school, and we're not being honest with them. Okay? While there's a huge shortage, and I have several companies right now that can't find engineers, there's a huge shortage of engineers. I get several resumes a week from parents that say, my child did great, they just graduated from college, but they have an Eastern Asian pottery making degree. Okay? I'm sorry, there isn't a ton of demand in this economy for that. So we have to start being honest with our students that we need the hard skills that are out there. And immigration. The other part of this is we need to bring the best and the brightest here. We have passed policy after policy. One of the dumbest, I would argue, one of the dumbest policies we have in this country is we are educating the best and the brightest here. You know, you go to Penn, you're getting people are coming to Penn from all over the world, and then we kick them out. We say, no, go somewhere else and compete against us. It just makes no sense. And that's actually a result of 9/11. We started restricting H-1B visas at that point. We've never really recovered from that. We need to change that. We want the best and the brightest from around the world in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. That's how we're going to be successful as a region.